Hi, how are you doing?
All well. How are you?
Not bad. Slowly things are getting back to normal from what I see.
How? How?
Bangalore is slightly on the green, right?
Okay,
so,
okay. No, we
so
are
today
stuck.
we saw some new faces and things were a lot better. So yeah, it
Okay,
feels a
no,
little
we are
better.
stuck in Noida. It's still in red zone. So, yeah,
Yeah.
just the same for us. So,
Well, at least
everyone, yeah, please, please.
no, no.
Hello,
So hi
everyone.
everyone.
We welcome you to another live session with Amy. And we have a very interesting topic for today. It is centric around female travelers, and I guess this is close to Emmy's heart also. So she would like to discuss about her experiences as a female traveler, do's and don'ts of what to keep in mind, what to prepare beforehand, choice of location selection. I mean, selecting the locations, and few more things. So yeah, I mean, we were talking about how things are getting better.
Oh yes, it was like the first day of normalcy where I saw someone beyond my regular two-member family. Basically, maids and domestic help have come back. So yeah, you can see the big smile on my face.
Oh, big relief. Big relief. That's
Little more.
not happening anytime soon in Noida. So I am
Yeah.
still cooking. And
So,
then,
I don't know how long it will last, but for today, I'm happy.
hopefully. Let's keep
Yes.
the fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Absolutely. So yeah.
So, I mean,
So
yeah, about the topic for
any
today.
questions from yesterday that we need to take, or can we move forward?
No,
Anything
I
specific?
think we covered most of it yesterday. Yeah.
Great. So let's dive into women travel then.
Yeah. Over to you.
Great. So women traveling in India is not something new. Interestingly, I was going through some stats for some other article that I was writing. It is quite interesting to see that we follow the global trend. So globally, women have started traveling far more than their male counterparts actually. And in India too, slowly this trend has come in, and actually we are following that kind of a norm. So there is a considerable amount of women population which is traveling at this point in time, and they like to travel solo, which
Oh,
is quite, when you actually think of the popular, you know, what do you
believe,
call
yeah,
thought process around, it is quite
yeah.
unusual, but that is a
It is.
reality. Yeah, it is a reality. There are a lot of women who travel and they don't mind doing it independently. Not everybody is a travel blogger or a travel writer, but a lot of them are women business travelers. They travel on business. A lot of students who are taking on to solo travel, girls. And yeah, I mean, contrary, like I said, to the popular belief, there has been a lot of change in India. Yeah, so
So yeah,
probably that.
business travel is something that I would assume it's a compulsion also, and there is a certain degree of safety around it because you go to the airport or you leave from your office, you go
Everything
to
is
the
taken
place.
care of. Yeah.
Everything is it's pre-planned, it's well decided in advance. Both sides from your location to the other location. So you know these stuff, you know there is a certain sense of familiarity about that. But as far as travel for leisure is concerned, um, I guess I'm not sure, but I guess there is still some hitch that should we or should we not, and especially solo.
For first timers, yes. So typically, a lot of people do start with business travel. Like you correctly said, a lot of things are taken care of, and that also instills this certain amount of confidence that yes, you can do this alone, right? The ifs and buts basically happen because you've never done it before, right?
Yeah,
So when you get the first taste of travel and it goes off really well,
yeah,
that's when your whole cycle starts. And there are multiple reasons why I highly recommend women to travel at least do a one solo trip alone, or probably just do a only women's travel, uh, because women do have their share of challenges in their lives, right? And
Absolutely.
honestly speaking, as much as I found a friend in my husband. I have so many friends who are males. Certain things are best done with their girlfriends. I think it's the same with male bonding, right? I mean, when you talk of
Absolutely.
male
Yeah.
bonding, there are certain things you guys would share, and there are certain things that we women share. But the thing is, a lot of times we just restrict it to just talking on the phone and stuff. When you travel with your girlfriends, a lot of memories are built, and those memories are something which actually, in a lot of way, they release a lot of tension within you. It makes you feel as if you're not the only one, that everybody's story is probably similar. Everybody's facing the same kind of challenges. It also gives you a break, right? Because when you're in the women company, let's say, for example, you want to do something very girly, you want to just go shop or just do window shopping, there is no one to actually judge you because they're your partners in it, right? So there's a lot of fun in that, and some crazy things, of course, we do, which I'm not going to talk about. But yeah, um, but women travel is especially when you do it with your girlfriends, is a lot of fun. When you travel out alone also, frankly, this is something I again recommend, is it allows you to think on your own, right? It gives you a lot of confidence. It allows you to see different aspects of life, which frankly, you have taken for granted. And there's a lot of introspection. It makes you a better person in a lot of ways. I've always found that, whenever I've traveled solo and I've come back, I have a better appreciation of things. Um, there are certain lot of things that I take for granted. My own family, I take for granted. I mean, most of us do. And when I come back, there's a newfound love for them. Actually, it's not just it's not just because I've missed them, but it's also because there are certain things probably which have struck me when I've been alone and I've been thinking, right?
Yeah.
And that's when I become grateful for those things. So which is exact. And like I said, when it comes to a working woman, we have a lot more than just family. There is a lot of tension which is built even from a corporate environment, and you're trying to juggle things constantly. uh, when you are traveling out alone, a lot of this tension also gets released. So you come back fresher. I think I've done one or two solo trips when I was working, and when I came back with like fresh ideas, and I was ready to attack things, and my deadlines I had like started working well before the deadlines and stuff, and people were like, oh my god, you should go for more of these travel kind of thing, because there was a lot of positivity which came back,
Yeah.
taking that break alone. uh,
Mm.
Another thing with me is that when I travel alone, there's no one to judge me. So if I'm taking photographs, nobody to say कितने photos ले रही हो, कौन से angles ले रही
Yeah.
हो, बंद करो आप. Nobody to tell me that. If I don't want to eat, which often happens, very often, because I'm not a very great as far as food is concerned. If I don't want to eat, nobody is there to नहीं नहीं खा लो, तुमको जरूरत है खाने की. We should take that break of food. I don't want to take that break. Fine. There's no one to question me. There's no one to judge me. There's small things, that we women tend to suppress because we are busy taking care of things around. So what becomes a mandatory lunch break because you have a kid and a husband along, or a family or a friend along. uh, you can actually disregard it because that is my inner desire. I don't want to stop at that point in time. I want to continue exploring what I'm exploring, and you know uh, get that freedom. So that solo women travel definitely gives me that freedom. Uh, you know, so yeah, those are the perks of women traveling, whether on in a group or alone.
Well, I guess solo actually helps us to explore our personality. Uh,
Yes.
but but a lot of time I come across this question that it is difficult to analyze whether solo is really for me, because there are two personality types, the
Correct.
introverts and the extroverts, and there is
Right.
a continuous clash between opinions.
Correct.
So for someone like me, solo is a bliss. I am an introvert. I like staying alone in my own zone. So solo travel, I am okay with it. I'm okay with group travel also, but I prefer solo. But for extroverts, it becomes difficult to go
Not
alone,
at all.
explore.
Not at all. I completely disagree because I think solo travel helps you balance the two, okay, very well. So if you're an extrovert, and especially with me, who doesn't, who is an outward extrovert kind of a person, um, it calms me down in a lot of ways. There are a lot of times where I would have normally acted silly or gone and talked to XYZ people and all. But when I'm traveling alone, because of a safety aspect, also sometimes I tend to go inwards, and which is good for me because it helps me balance that other side of me. It helps me think on my own, because when you're an extrovert, normally you don't take that time to introspect. So when you're an extrovert, you start thinking on your own. So it, like I said, balances the two. As an introvert, what I have seen, and this is something that I have seen with a couple of friends, and to some extent compared to me, my husband is an introvert. I mean, not a complete introvert, but kind of. I've realized that it not only gives him a space, but it also gives him that push to become extrovert, because this time nobody is there to help him
They have to actually go
figure
and talk
things.
to the people.
You
Yeah.
actually go and talk to people. So it actually helps you balance the two, is what I've realized. When you're on your own, you're forced to do certain things which are not in your regular zone. So for an extrovert, it is looking inwards, the introspection. And for the introverts, it is actually going out and starting to talk to people.
That's true. That's true. Otherwise, if I have to ask about directions only, so I'll just tell my friend, "Why पूछ लेना जाके?"
I know.
Abhi, I'll have to go and ask.
Go and ask exactly. And here it will be like, for my husband also, it's like certain things. He's like, just roll down the glass and figure out, kind of a thing. But then there is no one to figure out because you are going alone. So what do? You just roll down the glass and figure out yourself. For somebody like me who typically, doesn't take that time to sit on a wall and just enjoy the view around, it's a great time to actually sit there, because I'm in no hurry to get anywhere. There is no one waiting for me. So what do you do with that time? So you actually sit down and enjoy, and you introspect actually.
So coming back to the theme, so do how does someone starts this solo travel from a female perspective?
So one of the solo travel is something. First trip that you typically take needs to be extremely well planned, because only when that trip goes well, you'll get that real taste of solo travel, and that fear saying I'm alone will go off. So the best way to do that is, one is pick a destination which is not very far flung, not very difficult, which is open to a lot of women traveling alone, or for that instance, solo travelers. And it's not difficult for you to make arrangements for yourself. So pre-plan the trip. So advance में booking कर लो, you know what your itinerary is, what are the places you're going to visit. Do a lot of research, keep all that in place, so that you're kind of prepared. Keep your drop and pick up ready. For example, typically people who are seasoned travelers will not think so much about it. But if you're doing it for the first time, how will you get from the airport to the hotel? That last mile connectivity, as they call it, that needs to be pre-planned. So do some research. Okay, there is a prepaid this thing. Ask people, look up blogs. There's a lot of information around. So figure all that out. Get your this thing saying, almost live it day by day virtually in your head. Saying, okay, once I get to the hotel, I will need cash. तो मैं कितना cash रखूं? How much time should I keep for the cash? How much should I keep for the cash? Carry cash initially. First travel, maybe you will carry cash in your cards. Second
Right.
travel, you will probably a little more seasoned, and then you'll say, okay, forget it, Paytm chalega, kind of a thing. I mean, But
Right.
your first travel, make sure you have all those in place. All the pain points, as they call it. Make sure you've
Yeah.
figured them out in your head. Mobile connectivity extremely important, and especially for women traveler. So keep your mobile connectivity in place. Uh, Write down addresses because kahin mobile nahi chala, so you are not panicked. Because it could happen. Your mobile could very fall down, and you would be out of this thing,
You
and
don't
all
know
your
where to
data
go.
would be stuck. Sorry.
Yeah. You don't know
Yeah.
where to go.
Yeah, you won't know where to go. You won't remember your hotel name because it's all on the mobile. So thoda लिख के you keep things ready. Keep a little handwritten notes. It might seem very cumbersome. It might seem very weird for somebody who's been traveling all the while. But these are small pain points which, um, if you are a solo traveler, those become a headache for you. Right? So make sure you kind of keep all that in place, and then just go for it. Go for the travel. Do your bit. Live your that moment. Take a short break. Take about 2-3 days, uh, and I'm sure if everything goes well, you are all set to go for the next trip. That's how I recommend people to start their first travel. So for me, I don't remember the first solo travel, to be honest, but I remember telling this friend saying, "Why don't you go to Goa? It's the simplest. One is they're very open to women traveling. Secondly, stay in this kind of an area. Third thing, do this." And she did this too. It was a long weekend. She did this long weekend trip, and now all I see her is with a knapsack. She's ready to travel anywhere because it was very comfortable. She said that uh, all the pain points in her head were now ironed because she realized that they were no longer pain points. It's not difficult nahi hai
Yeah.
ye cheez. So it just took that one little trip to a place like Goa, and she was all ready to kind of plunge into it. So that is how I recommend people to start their first trip. Try a long weekend. Don't have to go very far. Go closer to home so that you are in your comfort zone. Uh, and once you have gone somewhere closer to home, then go a little further with a little longer duration, and then further, and that's it. So you are all set after that.
So, what are the essentials in terms of like, like packing, and what do you recommend? Must
Ah,
have.
women packing. See, I mean,
There is nothing like essentials.
yeah, there's nothing like essential. But I would say one of the essentials. Let me reframe that. What are the essentials for planning a women trip? A solo women trip. Like I said, one is safety. Okay, the biggest concern that women have is safety. Uh, and let me tell you one thing. I've traveled around the world. India is no different, right? It's if people think India is probably scarier, it's not true. Every place is equally scary, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you are going to be scared, you're going to be scared because you are stepping out of your comfort zone. You
Right.
One thing that women need to remember, or for that instance, any traveler needs to remember, is whenever you're visiting a particular place, you are a stranger to that place.
Yeah.
You don't know the norms of that place. You do not know इस एरिया में कौन सी जगह सच्ची में अच्छी है. You don't know that. You don't
Right.
know what are the good, what is the safe time, right? Is night outs actually safe or not? Will you get a transport or not? Even if you've read blogs and all, you don't know for a fact. You don't know the people there. So you remember you are going to a strange land, right? So that is where you need to keep a basic safety in place. So if it means that you've gone to a place and after dark you don't need to step out because it doesn't feel right, don't curb that urge. It's okay. You've gone to see the place. You've not really gone there to night, party out. Forget about it. Don't step out unnecessarily. Second thing that I recommend people to do is keep your mobile. I mean, that's the first thing I would say. Please keep your mobile with you. Not just for keeping in touch with people, but I highly recommend the GPS. Keep your GPS on. Keep make sure you have researched your routes well, so you can track that on GPS. So even if you're taking public transport and all, make sure it's going through public areas. Unnecessary more, you will know that through the GPS whether you are taking unnecessary turns or not taking this thing. So make sure that is in place. Um, Spend a little extra, I would say. Don't penny pinch. You know, like if it means you need to take an Uber, which is slightly higher than the auto rickshaw, it is probably better because one is Uber is trackable. Secondly, the chances of between the two, obviously, this is the lesser of the two evils kind of thing. So
Right.
don't penny pinch at that point in time. When it comes to stays, also make sure you know your locality. The locality has got some good reviews. The hotel has got some good reviews. Even if it means spending that 100, 200 rupees extra, it's worthwhile. Um, Another thing in India that I have noticed is, or rather, I recommend is try to arrive during daytime, especially for women. Uh, Try to make sure your flights are in the morning or in the afternoon, basically daylight kind of a thing.
Right.
For one, it is safer for you from a lot of angles. For one, it is like there are there are a lot of people around, and when you have people around, you have a lot of safety. You feel a lot more safe. So try to get that morning slots. Try to get the day timings. And if by chance, let's say you're going to a far-flung location and agar you do not have the right flights, right, and you've arrived late or your train has arrived late or whatever the case be, make sure you have that last mile connectivity, which means, like I said, do not penny pinch.
Right.
And if it is late at night, I would recommend hotel say aap pick up le lo. Ask the hotel to give you a pickup. It's a little safer, in my opinion, and one less uncertainty whether you'll get a cab or not get cab has gone. You'll definitely get something if the hotel has arranged it for you. So last mile connectivity, especially if you're coming at night or evening time, I would recommend that you kind of think through that and take that into consideration. Um, Keep to public places. I would say avoid going to small gullies. I know it's very tempting to do offbeat locations for me also. So typically, what I do is if I have to do the offbeat location, I make sure either the hotel has a tour which is arranged, or there is some public tour which is going, and I join that. So for that, for you'll always find some local tours for it. So avoid if there's a guy who tells me कि मैडम मैं आपको लेके जाता हूँ, definitely do not go for it. You do not want to have that headache basically, so it's avoidable. You'd rather go in the bus or you'd rather go with a tour, uh, even if it means cutting down time at that offbeat location, because they'll say jaldi karo. It's okay, it's a small offset, but at least you're getting to see something. So keep that in mind. And yeah, I think I've kind of covered a lot. So,
Yeah, carrying additional power bank is must.
yes,
Never know.
additional power bank. Keep keep your cash safe. So all those belts and all that you get, they say it's useless, but personally, I feel very safe with it. I generally one thing in India that I've noticed is India has gone a lot digital now. So carrying cash is no longer a necessity, if you ask me. So I carry minimal cash. There is always that one card which I know will be accepted everywhere, and everything else is digital. So if it's all Paytm or Google Pay, a lot of people accept that. I mean, I've found remote locations in Ladakh and McLeodganj accepting Paytm. Actually,
Yeah, in fact.
so yeah, that is another thing. And yeah, for women, another thing that I would say is dress conservatively. You don't have to always be in salwar suit or whatever. You can be in jeans, but make sure you dress conservatively. It is very normal to get catcalls. I get a lot. Even when I travel with my family, sometimes I get it. Even with my friends, I get it. It's very normal. It's not because you're a woman solo traveler. It's because you're a woman. Period. So
Travel
one,
My
I mean,
Way has suggested locks and key, maybe. Yeah,
yes, of
absolutely.
course. I mean, if it gives you a
Locks
peace
and
of mind,
keys.
yes, lock and key definitely. And yeah, when you get a cat call, one thing that I have noticed is if it's a public place, people do not try too much, and if they do, just create a ruckus. Okay, I mean it sounds very stupid, but it's a it is my fail safe safety measure actually. So create a bit of ruckus. Those idiots would go away. Secondly, do not hesitate approaching the local tourist police. You know your rights. It's very very important. Know your rights. As a right, as a woman, I cannot be taken to a police station after 6 o'clock. I have the right to refuse to go if there is no women officer present. So there are rights that you need to know of. Make sure you read about that. Know those rights, and like I said, uh, keep to the public areas and you would be completely fine. There is absolutely no issue.
What's your opinion about the availability of washrooms in India? I mean, that's
Oh
one
God,
area that is
that
of major
is
concern.
that is a major problem. I completely agree. Uh, I think that is something which is of my pet peeves as far as road travel in India or any kind of travel in India is concerned. Um, However, having said that, there are things have improved. I have seen things get better. There are a lot of essentials you can carry for this. You there are things like P Safe, which is basically a spray, a sanitizer spray, which you can use. I highly recommend using Indian toilets over Western, especially for women. It definitely is. Both of them are equally unhygienic, but at least this is slightly lesser, chances of you catching on to something. Um, there are keep sanitizers with you. I know soap, water availability, and all is not a problem, but I'm really not sure of those soaps which are being kept over
Yep,
there. So
absolutely.
I highly recommend sanitizers with you. And yes, I mean there are portable things which are available on Amazon.
There,
I've not tried it personally, uh, but yeah, I mean if it comes to that, maybe you could look up some of those portable carry on things with you.
okay, yeah. Um, so any few places that you would like to recommend for female travelers to start their journey to experience? I mean, one place I think so. McLeodganj, Manali, Ladakh, even
Ladakh, yeah.
Spiti.
Yes,
Spiti, you
those
say.
entire mountain. I mean, they're very very friendly people. They're very open to women travelers. They're very chatty as well. They take care of you. They actually go out
Yeah,
of the way
yeah.
and take care of you. And yes, I mean that's a great circuit to start with. Northeast, Northeast actually. For them, it's very normal for women to travel because they are largely matriarchal societies. So
Yeah,
women have
yeah,
always taken a front end.
yeah.
So yes, Northeast, especially Northeast. When I talk, I mean, if you don't want to go into interiors, then definitely Meghalaya to start with, and then fair bit of I would say Arunachal. Uh, Come down south in between North and South India. I feel South India is a lot more safer for some reason. I think people are a little more, uh, cognizant. They are not as very brash, uh, and they're slightly more. I don't know. I get this vibe that they're slightly more open to the whole thing. So South India is a great place to look at traveling solo. Hampi, for example, I've seen a lot of women travelers, especially a lot of foreigners who come in. Um, Kerala, Kerala is there's no dirt. Those guys are absolutely. I mean, for them, it's very normal for women to travel alone. I've gone there so many times on my own, and they like pretty much like Ladakh. They will go out of the way to make things happen for you and all.
Yeah.
Goa, of course, covering this thing. Andaman.
Even Rajasthan, places like Jaipur, Udaipur, beautiful places and pretty safe.
Yes, but like I said, those are very populated as well. So, like if you're looking at slightly offbeat, I mean, I was looking slightly offbeat. But when you talk of popular places, there's Goa, there is Kerala, there is Rajasthan, like you said, Gujarat, for example, very, very safe. Um, and in fact, Gujarat and Rajasthan, you'll find people again going out of the way to make things happen for you. The problem with touristy level of scams is also very high. So Rajasthan, Delhi, that is an additional thing that you need to take care of, which is basically the scams. I mean, and this is not because you're traveling solo. This is a general tourist trap.
This can
So
happen to anyone.
yeah, it can happen to anyone. It is a general tourist trap. So that is an additional thing that I would recommend, that when you're going to touristy places, take care of that. That happens even in Goa, incidentally. Tourist scams are very common. So you need to make sure that, especially if you're traveling solo, that becomes an additional headache. Whereas if you go to these offbeat locations, what I've realized is people are a little more humble. There's not so much of these scams, and it's a little more smoother and a lot more enjoyable, obviously, because you're looking at. So I think I've covered north, south, east, west pretty much. Andamans, for example, I would recommend as a solo traveler. Uh, it's a great place, and I mean that was one place I just wanted to stay. Just wanted to stay for a long time. So yeah.
So I just wanted to ask something. I kind of missed it.
Let's look at some of the questions. Maybe I think. Yeah, paper soap definitely. Sustainable portrait says definitely works. Paper soap and बुलेट की प्लानिंग कर लो डेफिनेटली बुलेट भी कर सकते हैं लेकिन मेरे को चलाना नहीं आता है
मुझे चलाना आता है मेरी बुलेट खड़ी हुई है इतने दिन से कहीं नहीं जा सकता बुलेट पे भी
yes. I think yeah pretty much we've answered the other questions not much questions though. Yep.
Okay, great. I don't think we are missing on anything. We covered most topics.
No problem. I guess probably anyway we can catch it later.
Which is your favorite place in India?
There is no one favorite place, man. I have many. I think Ladakh definitely tops it. Ladakh, Andamans, like I just said, I wanted to just stay on. I love Udaipur for some reason.
We have so about the place thing. We have another session planned for tomorrow, and we'll be talking about Emmy's favorite place in mountains, and day after tomorrow we'll be talking about Emmy's favorite place in a beach destination.
Yes.
So we'll be talking about that destination at length and what to do, where to go, what to eat, all this stuff. So the location is still a surprise. You'll have to join the session to know about it.
I gave some hints. I did give some hints.
Yeah, please. Let's see who answers.
No, I've already given the hints. I said so they can hazard a guess. I've already mentioned a few places, so it's one of them.
Okay, so that's a deal. If you manage to give the correct answer, I'll share that on my Insta story. Whoever gives the correct answer, that's the deal. Let's see who can answer that correctly. Yeah.
So it's mountains tomorrow, like Pankaj said, and yeah, I it should be a fun chat because I'm sure you'll have questions and I'm sure you'll have experiences to share as well.
Yeah, let's tomorrow let's talk to people in terms of their city where they belong to and their favorite destination. We'll keep chatting in between for
Yes,
tomorrow and
absolutely. Let's keep it interactive.
yeah. So thank you so much everyone for joining in this live session. I hope more people would actually start traveling. If you have some questions about how to start, how to plan, you can shoot it to Amy. She'll be more than happy to answer it. And I'm sure there are tons of blogs on her blog also on her website also. That's thrillingtravel.in. So you can just check that out. So thanks everyone. Thanks Amy. It was a great session.
Same here. Thank you.
See
you
you
then.
tomorrow. Same time. Same place.
Same anchor. Same handle. All right. See you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.